Hi guys, I'm Priscilla. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're gonna be doing a cut crease, and that means we're doing a full makeup tutorial. Okay, so we're gonna start with our eyebrows, and we're gonna start using a spoolie. This is a spoolie, yeah, where you get to comb your your eyebrows and make sure they are at a good angle. Yeah. Then after that, we're gonna go in with our concealers, this shade and this shade. We're gonna mix them together using a concealer brush. This is a concealer brush. And then we get into it with Davies, you know, Davies shade number 3. Okay. So you draw your eyebrows, you know, and then you conceal. You see, I've already mixed my two shades and now it's time to conceal. Okay. Okay, I've already concealed one part of my eyebrow, and this is where I want to tell you guys, you can draw your eyebrows as bad as you can, but the real test is to conceal. Concealing is the real test, and this is where you get to work on your arc, the upper arc and the lower arc. They get to be seen. You see, you can see my upper arc and the lower arc. Okay, so pole pole too. Okay, so let's do this on the other side. You see, it's like sharpening a pencil, yeah, and then you make sure it's so sharp. So even when you're concealing, make sure you don't use a lot of concealer on your eyebrows, not to make them look bad. Yeah. Okay, so just see how neat they look. So let's make sure we draw good eyebrows and conceal them in the right way. Eyebrows that we can work out with. Okay. Okay, so next we're going in with our eyeshadow. We use two brushes for the eyeshadow. This is the first brush that we use, you see, and then this is the second brush. And I got my eyeshadow book over here. Yeah, it looks like this, like this, like this. Here, you see. And today we're going in with this purple look. This, yeah. Yeah, I told you guys as we started, we are doing a cut crease. A cut crease is, you see, this is what we are working with. And when it's all about a cut crease, what do you need? What are you required to have? You're required to have this brush that looks like this, and you're supposed to have a concealer shade, a white concealer shade. So this brush is where you tap in the white concealer that you have applied on your hand, and you get to make this angle that I've made over here. Okay, okay, so as to get that neat cut crease that you want to get, you have to have a wet towel. This one, I've got mine. And you come here, you get to wipe over there, wipe, wipe, wipe. That, you see, only that part, okay. And afterwards, you see the parts that we have cleaned this angle, this is where you come in with that concealer, this brown concealer, the mixture that we had, and then you fill in those parts, you know, yeah, before using the purple shade that we are using. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You see, you can see the cut crease over here coming on top of the purple shade. And as we do our eyeshadow, we use two shades, one dark shade and the other one is a lighter shade. For mine, the outer shade, I've used a brown shade, and then I've come in with my lighter shade, which is purple. Okay, so let's do this on the other side. So we got our cut crease. Even from afar, you can see my cut crease, and that's what I was talking about. So next, we're going in with my Fit Me foundation and a foundation brush. Okay. Before we go in with foundation, this is where you get to apply your foundation on your hand, and you take your foundation brush and then you mix it all up, you know, by tapping. You make sure all the angles are getting the foundation. Okay, you see, yeah, not just one part, to avoid being messy. Okay, and then I told you, when you are blending in the foundation, make sure all the parts, you're targeting all the parts, you know, and you blend it until it settles. Okay, blend it in until it settles, and avoid touching the eyebrows to make sure not to interfere with them so as not to be messy. Okay, you see mine, everything is settled up, no mushy mushy anywhere. Okay, next we go in with our LA concealer, the lighter shade, and this is where you get to apply it under your, see, over here, over here, over here, and over here. Okay, once you're done applying each and every part, you come in with your brush where you're gonna settle it in. Okay, you see, I've already tapped in everything and it's all settled in, no mess, no nothing. I told you the trick is blend until it settles. Okay, so next we're going in with my Fit Me powder. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, I've tapped it all in and you can see my work is so neat, no mess, no nothing, and that's the deal, you know. Just tap it all in, you know, until it settles. Blend until it settles. Okay, next I'm gonna be going in with my Fit Me powder. Yeah, I'm done with the powder. So next we're going in with our bronzer. This, we have 5 layers, but mostly I always use this, yeah, because I'm a chocolate. Yeah, so this is where you use this brush. Yeah, you take in some bronzer. The bronzer always come over here, you know, here under the cheek, you see, over there. Let's go in on the other side. You see, I'm already done with the bronzer. I've already settled in with my brush, and you can see it, under the cheek, you know. Yeah. So this is now where you get in with your blush. This is the blush we are using, the pink one. This one over here, yeah. And you get in with this brush over here. Yeah. So okay, so the brush where you're using the pink blush we are using, you can see it. It comes on top of the bronzer that we have used. So we get the bronzer over here under the cheek, and then up here, this is where we get to use our brush. And this is where you can see the pink shade that I've just shown you. So you make sure it's not mushy, it's not a lot, just that amount. Okay, okay, you can see all settled in. Okay, then you come in with your highlighter. I love using this gold, makes me happy, and this is the brush that you supposed to be using it. So where does the highlighter go? I've told you there are three layers. There's the bronzer, you see, and then there's this blush, the second part, and then on top here, this is where you go in with your highlighter. And when you're applying the highlighter, you make sure you're applying it in an outward motion. Okay, you see, you get to see each and every part of it, the bronzer, the blush, and the highlighter. I've done the same thing on the other side, you can see. And then this is the other part where you apply your bronzer, and then you finish it with here on top of the nose, and then here, you see, even from afar you can see. And then we finish up with a ombre lip. Okay, and when it comes to my ombre lip, I like it so simple. You can see I've already come in with my lip liner, and I have this shade of my lipstick, which is goldish, and then I come in with my gloss, my final gloss, a lip balm. Okay, so that's how the gloss appears. And with our final touch is where you come in with your setting spray. Mine is LA Girl. You get to put like this, you spray like that. You see, that's how to avoid, we put the hand like this to avoid messing up with the eyeshadow, and you spray outward, yeah, in our outward motion. So guys, this is the final look. I told you guys we're gonna do a fantastic job today. Was a Cutcrease eyeshadow, and I've gotten to show you guys how to step by step how to do your full makeup tutorial. And i I hope you guys go to my YouTube channel. It's Priscilla. Go check out step by step how we have achieved this look, and I hope you're blessed. Till next time, bye.